Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Power Up with Joe Weaver shift update for August 2024. Nice to be back with you all again. I've had a busy few weeks. Just got my son moved into college this past weekend. It's been a lot of stuff getting everything together for that. It's been nice getting him settled where he is. So now that I can focus on some other things, like giving you this month's shift update, some preliminary info. One of the things is that I've put out my newsletter update about a week or two ago. It's the first newsletter that I've sent out in a while. For those of you that are interested in being on that newsletter list and receiving that, you can sign up through my website, joe-weaver.com. The link will be that below the video also. Also, for some of you that haven't seen the website in a while, it's been newly, redesigned, new information updated, new services such as the 24-hour cleanse. For those of you that are interested, it goes in some in-depth clearing to assist you in becoming more aware of your patterns, what's been holding you back in some ways, your own, some of the illusions that we create and we hold against ourselves, our beliefs that we hold against ourselves and so on. We create our own prison in a way where we don't see out of that space. And that's one of the reasons why the 24-hour energetic cleanse is available. Therefore, it gives you the energetic space in order to see what you've been creating for yourself and allows you to expand and becoming aware of yourself to a greater degree. The same thing combined with the 24-hour cleanse is the 2-hour coaching session that goes into giving you suggestions on how to move beyond the self-imposed beliefs, self-created restrictions that we impose against ourselves. So it goes into a lot of different things, like how to meditate to a greater degree, how to connect with your I am presence, your authentic self to a greater degree, how to release anger, fear. It's a infinite number of things that we could discuss to assist in greater self-empowerment, self-love, and so on. That's what those services are for. So there's going into this month's shift update, there was actually more topics to go over than I had really, I felt like was capable of us going through in this one video. So I actually have rolled some of those over into next month. There's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot of things shifting. The acceleration, as I have mentioned in previous updates, is in high gear now. So the information I'm going to be sharing in this shift update pretty much goes into a lot of those different things, the topics and so on. And one new thing that I'm going to be adding into this month's shift update is a challenge. It's the last topic that we're going to be going through today. It's a challenge. And so along with the word of the month to discuss, we're also going to start having a challenge of the month. So we'll go into that later. So going into the first topic of this shift update is, what is the authentic self? This is the word of the month to discuss, the authentic self. The authentic self, you could say, is our true presence, our true identity beyond illusion. It's the aspect of our being that is in pure freedom, pure fluid movement without restriction. Within this current world, with our mental brain, our ego, and so on, we not only might see restriction, but we experience restrictions. A lot of these restrictions are self-imposed. So the authentic self, you could also describe as the I am presence of our being. The I am presence is the aspect of our being that created the soul that we are within this physical body. So the authentic self knows itself, that level of our consciousness beyond this physical body, knows our experience beyond the physical body, knows more about our other physical, our incarnations, and so on. But the main thing when discussing, say, our authentic self or our I am presence is to know that this aspect of our being is not separate than us right now. Most of us have been hearing this voice of the I am presence, our authentic self, since we were born into the physical body. You could very well connect it with the voice of reason within our being that says, well, it's probably not a good idea for you to go do that. It's the knowingness within our being of how we are connected into different things, that knowingness of greater levels of discernment that we are not capable of discerning within our mental brain. It's a level of knowingness, a level of connection. Those are the things that really go into the authentic self. And the more that we have the willingness to connect with that level of our authentic self, our I am presence, and so on, the more that we get to know ourselves beyond this physical body. It's not like an external mental brain that you are separate from right now. It is already a part of you, is already a part of us. So it's a matter of letting go of the restrictions and all these self-imposed beliefs, to love yourself to a greater degree, to tap into more of that knowingness, and therefore you truly then become more of your authentic self in the physical body. So that's a little bit about the authentic self. All right, moving on to the next topic. This is a question that a lot of people may be wondering. A lot of people say, well, I can't meditate, I don't meditate, and everything else. I've gone into this previously in other videos and everything. But really, everyone meditates, even though they may be in denial of this. Everyone meditates because everyone falls asleep at night. We go through a place of, right before we fall asleep at night, we go through a process of changing up our breathing pattern. We go through a process of relaxing the brain. And it's through that process is a different level of focus. And the way I describe meditation is just a level of focus. So going in, how long should I meditate? The answer is this: it's as long as needed. As far as how long, it's almost like it's as long as needed to where you have greater focus and alignment within yourself. For some people, they're able to align to a greater degree without even closing your eyes. It's just a matter of changing up your breathing pattern, relaxing, releasing stress, centering yourself within your heart instead of your brain, your constant processing of the mental brain and the ego with the fear and the judgment and so on, and judging yourself for, oh, I'm not good enough to meditate, or I think too much to meditate, or meditation is stupid, and all this other stuff. Those are the things the ego will say. The ego will basically say, and to distract you from really meditation. Meditation in itself is the tool that connects you with your I am presence, your authentic self, to a greater degree. How are you to truly know yourself when you're living through the ego is really impossible. So it's a matter of, when we take the time to meditate, is a matter of aligning. It's a matter of listening. It's a matter of observing ourself, the patterns that are running through our brain, the thoughts that are running through our brain, and becoming more aware of what is going on, become more of the observer. And as we do that, we come more aligned. We can listen more, we can feel more, we can know more, and so on. So that's some of the main processes of, say, if you were going to take the time to meditate, it's just a time of focus to bring yourself in alignment with your authentic presence, with your I am presence, and so on. How long you need to meditate? As I mentioned just a little bit ago, it's just as long as needed for you to bring yourself in that alignment. That could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour, or whatever. It could be something that you can do on a regular basis to really bring yourself more and more back into that alignment. Then you can live more in meditation, to where you're walking down the street and you can realign yourself to be in that center connection with your authentic self. So you don't have to be sitting in meditation in a quiet place in order to align yourself with your divine essence of who you are. So it's more living in meditation. You can move into the space of living in meditation as you talk with other people, as you interact with people in your daily lives. It's a matter of connection that you have without, and focus without having to go into a space of seclusion to where you can realign yourself. So everyone's a little bit different regarding that. So the answer would be, how long should you meditate? As long as needed for you to align and connect and focus with the authentic, true essence of who you truly are. All right. So the next topic, do aliens exist? A lot of people are talking, more and more people are talking about extraterrestrials, ETs, aliens, off-world beings, and so on. It's becoming more discussed within, say, the news. It's becoming out there more and more. To me, that there's no doubt that there are, you could say, aliens, off-world beings, and so on. A lot of people have had their own connections, their own experiences with, you could say, beings, non-human beings. A lot of people, prove it and all this other stuff. It's when you have these connections and you have these interactions and so on. It's as real as knowing a family member in physical form. It's like knowing who your mother or your father is. So there's really no way to really prove to another person, oh, well, prove to me aliens exist. Someone in that space, of course, it's coming from that space. Really, it's not open to experiencing what already exists. Aliens, you could say, or non-human beings are here with us now. Yes, there are ones that are manipulation on the manipulation side, while there are others that are trying to assist us in this period of time. So the example that was coming to me to describe, do aliens exist here on Earth and or within the universe, is to think of this. Look at the diversity on planet Earth, the level of diversity between humans on Earth. Throughout the world, we have people that are up to 8 feet tall. 8 feet tall. And then you have some that are 3 feet tall. And then you got them as skinny as a rail, and some that are over 500 pounds. We have different shades of skin. We've got all, very light skin, almost pure white, all the way to dark, like very dark skin. So, and we have different nationalities in a way. You could tell we have different aspects of characteristics of the physical body, different types of hair, and so on. So if you look at the diversity of what is actually present on Earth right now, and you think about the diversity of how many planets there are not only within our solar system, but within the universe and the galaxies upon galaxies. Of course, there are different variations of humanoid form, insectoid form, reptilians, all kinds of variations of intelligent beings in lighter density forms that sort of go beyond, what a lot of people know as what a being is. Just because a being does not have a physical form does not mean that it doesn't exist. So the actual knowingness of being in touch with a non-human being in touch with the aspect of who you and who we truly are beyond the physical body, the more that we get to know ourselves to a greater degree, the more we know ourselves, our authentic, true essence of our being beyond the physical body, the more that we get to know ourselves in that way, the more that we know the actual essence of the immensity of different variations of beings within the universe and the other incarnations of our own selves in these other aspects of beings throughout the universe that exist right now. So all of these different variations, these different aspects of our existence of a being of who we are, all existing simultaneously right now throughout the universe. Again, how do we truly get to know that is by tapping into ourselves to a greater degree, to get to know ourselves to a greater degree. Through that, it's not a belief that aliens exist, but it's an experience of knowing that aliens exist. And in time, more and more people here on Earth are going to be experiencing, say, humanoid beings in different forms, or non-human beings in other forms, and all kinds of other stuff. The main thing is to not be fearful of what exists beyond your physical form. Is to release the fear of the unknowingness. The fear in itself and the judgment creates the restriction from you knowing what truly exists in this world and within the universe. Let go of the fear and judgment, my friends. Therefore, you will know more. All right. Working against the whole. If you viewed a cancer cell within your body or a parasite within your body, the cancer cell or a parasite and so on is something that works against your body. It's like anti-immune. It goes against the biological makeup of your physical body. It works against it. That's what a cancer cell does. In a way, that's what a lot of people, as far as humans, if there's a working against the whole, meaning that you're not necessarily in sync with the whole. Talking about, say, our collective consciousness. If you viewed our collective consciousness as a whole of all of the humans on Earth, all of our, say, collective consciousness, within that collective consciousness is all of the individual souls and what they're focusing on, what they're experiencing, and what they're focusing. The biggest thing is the focus. Because the focus of fear, how many within the collective consciousness are focusing on fear? How many are focusing on judgment and separation of one another, fear of one another, and so on? So if you look at your own self and you say, and you start questioning the patterns and the thoughts that are going through your brain on a regular basis, start observing to a greater degree. Am I acting in alignment and one with the collective whole, or am I acting against the whole? What levels of separation am I holding on to that are separating me from the greater whole? And so on. Not only the greater whole of humans upon the planet, but my connection with, say, nature in itself, nature and the connection with Earth in itself, the trees, the collective masses of water on the planet, the other mammals on the planet, the other beings, the other, say, the other aspects of nature, not only on Earth, but you can go even further out into the solar system, out into the universe. These perceptions of fear, judgment, of say, other beings in other forms, as I went into in the previous topic. When we act against the whole, in a way, it might not be a mental thing of intentionally acting against the whole, but it may be a combination of choices and our focus that energetically separates us from the greater whole. And so by releasing these perceptions of and these beliefs of separation from the greater whole, then automatically allows us to expand our energetics into the greater whole, therefore making us more whole within ourselves. So acting against the whole, in a way, is a form of, you could say, fear. If we fear ourselves, someone else beyond our physical being, beyond our mental comprehension, and so on, really, again, we are creating that separation from the whole. You know, oneness, the word oneness in itself is just the whole. We create the restriction and the separation from that oneness. So in order for more wholeness or oneness to exist on the planet or within ourselves, it's a matter of us, it's our responsibility individually to release and to stop acting as the cancer cells, as the parasites living on Earth, acting separate than nature itself, to begin to live every single day, observing, releasing, having the willingness and the openness to become more one with our organic, natural essence of who we are, the full connection with nature in itself, the full connection of being aware of a wholeness of our collective human consciousness as we are as a whole, having more discernment of saying what's going on and how we're interacting with the other people that are still within that acting separate from the whole. Not necessarily just sitting back and allowing everyone to just control other aspects of yourself, or say continually sort of kill other aspects of our collective self without any repercussions or you speaking up about it. Again, this process of moving back into wholeness and oneness is not a matter of continual judgment and fighting to see who gets the upper hand, and again, like it has been on this earth for thousands of years of fighting and everything else. It's a matter of moving beyond the fight, moving beyond the struggle, moving beyond the separation, to see who is continuing to act as the cancer cell and observing them and saying, I no longer play this game with you. I no longer accept your continual killing of other aspects of my collective self, and or the killing of the aspect of the earth in itself. A lot of people are going to be viewing these words in different ways according to how they actually view the earth in itself. But it's a matter of us, again, releasing the separation, allowing more wholeness to exist, and for us to stop acting as the cancer cells or the parasites living on a planet of abundance. All right, that's enough of that one. All right, moving into the next topic. 3 to 4 steps ahead. Just to know that, and as I've shared in previous updates regarding the manipulation team, these people or beings and or combination of people and beings have been, you can say, ruling the earth for thousands of years. They know the tendencies of the collective self, our collective consciousness as a whole. They rule through separation. The more separation within the people, the more the people fight each other and view each other and continually focus on the separation within the collective. While the manipulation, the people of manipulation and beings of manipulation are sort of separate. They play both sides. And in a lot of different ways are 3 to 4 steps ahead of what most people think. To give you an idea about this, as it's been shared, a lot of the military complex and the say black op secret programs within the government and so on, and are 10 to 20 years in advanced technologies than what is available to people in everyday life. So they're 10 to 20 years in advanced technologies that are not even in the public view. So in the same way, you could look at when it comes to, say, manipulation on a public level, there are certain situations, just like a chess game, where they are 3 to 4 steps ahead of what people view as on the public everyday interactions on TV, on the surface level. People more react to what is existing on the surface level, like what is happening today in the world. However, the 3-4 steps ahead is they actually are determining say, okay, most likely if these people are in this situation, they're going to probably either go this way or that way. And so therefore, we're going to have a situation already in advance if the collective go in this direction to divert them from that direction into the direction that we want them to move into. So therefore, the collective will not be aware of what we are planning next and or what we have in store next, and so on. So again, looking at the chess game, are you simply a pawn on the chessboard to just simply reacting to the surface level situations that are currently taking place in the world? To become more aware of looking at the game to a greater degree, to look at the game like a chessboard, to see who is behind who, to take the time to do the research, to see who is the main manipulators. How are they playing this game? Who are the pieces within this chess match as a collective that we are experiencing? To know without a doubt there are, say, manipulation going on here that are many steps ahead of what the common person thinks about. So the key is number one is to become aware of just observing what is taking place. A lot of people are starting to see that mainstream media is just a pawn, again, the aspect of manipulation to brainwash people in thinking certain things, into keeping people in fear and so on. But in order to really to move into the aspect of observing things on a greater scale, you have to let go of the fear. You got to let go of the judgment, because that in its face, in that space of fear, judgment, stress, and so on, is like you viewing things on a concentrated, smaller space of viewing the world. You're in such space of fear and stress that you don't even have the mental capacity to observe things beyond the reactionary standpoint of every single life. Oh my gosh, what's going on now? This is crazy. I can't even think. All that kind of stuff is to align. That is the space that the true manipulation team wants people to stay within. They want people to stay within that space of stress, survival mode, and fear and judgment, because within that space, there is nothing to do other than react, instead of observe. To actually have the conscious view of, okay, they're making this move now on this chessboard. I already see some of their next moves. What am I going to do in order to stay aligned within my life to where these choices that they're making on this chessboard is not going to affect me? To be and align yourself with your the sovereign essence of who you truly are. Connect with your essence of your authentic self, your I am presence, beyond this physical body, to know who you are beyond this physical body. Therefore, all this fear, all these separation tactics, and so on, are not going to sway you. They're not going to stress you out. So that is key, to become aware of where and how you are interacting on this greater chessboard of life that we are experiencing right now. It is key. It's very and very important. All right. That pretty much moves us into the next topic, levels of political deception. As I was just mentioning in the previous topic, they are 3 to 4 steps ahead of the general public, where the general public simply reacts to where they are on this chessboard of already knowing where, or trying to push the collective focus in one direction or another to align with the manipulation agenda of keeping people distracted. So the political deception, in a way, a lot more people are becoming aware of. The two-party game, how they keep these political pawns or actors, or whatever else you want to view them, in certain ways to suit different percentages or portions of the collective. However, the more that you truly look into things and start seeing and observing who is backing who, and then who is beyond that, who truly on 3 or 4 levels down of who is backing who in these political games. I think I gave an example a couple months ago regarding the main political contributors to both the Biden and, say, Trump campaigns were both, you can say, connected with Israel. That's just one example. There are other examples of how the levels of who is backing who. Therefore, it's not a matter of, when you start viewing things from that way, it's not a matter of saying, I am on this side, I am on that side. Again, that is what the political manipulation game wants people to think. They continually want people to be in a state of separation, to battle with one another instead of battling with the true manipulation of who is behind who. And so my suggestion, my friends, is don't fall for the political deception, distraction game. There are other players that are backing both political parties that have the agenda for greater control and of the collective as a whole. To see that there are different parts of control taking people's freedoms away on both sides. To know that this game is being played from both sides at the same time. How we move beyond this game is for more people to become aware of the game in itself, to see the game, the separation game, for what it is, and to say, okay, I am no longer participating in this. I now choose to do this instead of this. I now choose to act more as a collective instead of playing in this separation game, and so on. That pretty much moves us into the next topic, the 8-8 scam. 8-8 Lionsgate was last week. I made a post on Facebook regarding it. Again, there's a lot of deception when it comes to different levels of this manipulation game. The beings of deception, we'll call them manipulation, deception, have copied, as I have mentioned in previous videos and so on, a lot of the, say, energetic beings of light and love, you could say. Sort of like an artificial version of Jesus, an artificial fake version of Mother Mary, Archangel Michael, Jermaine, all kinds of different artificial versions. They've copied different aspects of nature in itself. If you look at nature, the true essence of nature in itself, they've copied different aspects of that. In the same way, the astrological calendar, different powerful, natural, organic portals or gates that are tied into astrological calendar, they have sort of piggybacked on these different portals and different, a lot of people have channeled different beings providing this artificial information to distract people from the organic to the more aligning with the artificial. So the piggybacking on this Lionsgate 8-8 and so on, these double dates are all manufactured artificial creations to energetically connect people more with the artificial instead of the organic and natural. Even though there are thousands upon thousands of people that sort of like, oh yeah, the Lion's Gate portal is very powerful, all this other stuff. But at the same time, you hear people offering these activations, these remote activations, to connect you with these portals. So my suggestion is do not align, accept, or participate in any remote activation that has to do with a double date or say this Lion's Gate portal. You do not need to have a remote activation in any form to connect with the organic, real astrological alignments within the universe. You yourself are one with the universe right now. You are already connected with the astrological calendar naturally. It's a part of nature in itself. You are one with nature right now. You do not need to participate and say someone else is being a mediator between me and the connection with the organic, with my organic self already, with my universal self. Remember, you are the you within universe. We are. That is the universal self, our universal self. We are already connected with the organic. It's a matter of us truly just allowing ourselves to sense and feel and allow our universal self to be more known and embodied. So no one needs a mediator or any extraterrestrial being to connect us with our true, organic, authentic self. Do not align or do not accept any remote activations that tie into these portals or gates. From my observation and everything that I've received and or seen so far, these energetic activations only align your energetic systems with the artificial. Another example that came to me regarding this is the people that are getting these activations, these remote activations, are like, oh yeah, I want to get this activation, that activation, and everything else. The example that was coming to me to share this is like a sexually active teenager in college. They're like, oh yeah, I want to try that, 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 I want to try that. Sexually active and so on, without having the discernment of the energetic consequences of those sexual interactions. Without having any discernment of these energy interactions. In the same way, a lot of people are, when they get involved in these activations, they're like, oh yeah, I want all the activations that are available out there, regarding these portals or whatever, these activations and all these other activations. Again, without the discernment of the energetic consequences of these decisions. These decisions have consequences. These energetic activations that people have been receiving for years now and connecting into the artificial matrix in a way, distorts the energetic flow from your own divine self, your own authentic self, your own cosmic aspect of who you are is restricted in a way because of these energetic activations. Do not rely on anyone to be a mediator between you and Source. Connect with between your own divine self, your own authentic presence, your own divine self, all the way to Source. Do not rely on any being in any form. It does not matter who or what they say they are. Remember, you are a divine being right now. The most powerful beings within the universe are currently in physical form on Earth right now. Again, I will say that again. Some of the most powerful beings within the universe are currently incarnate on Earth right now. Thing is, the most of you out there have not remembered who you are yet. Do not allow anyone to become or anything to come between you and your authentic, true identity of who you are. Pure source light, pure love without conditions. Don't fall for any more scams, and clear out those energetics that are tied into the artificial matrix. All right. That's enough for that one. That was a long one. All right. Why is manipulation allowed? A lot of people will say, well, why do our true friends in other forums allow for this manipulation to take place on the planet? Why, for example, does Archangel Michael allow the copy of Archangel Michael to exist? Why does Mother Mary or Jesus allow for the artificial versions of themselves to exist on the planet Earth? Why is this manipulation allowed? Why is these artificial activations allowed, as I mentioned in the previous topic, for people to participate in? And the answer is that we're going through a time period of building greater discernment. The choice between giving your power away to someone or something outside of yourself to truly stepping into our true power of who we are naturally, our true cosmic identities, the essence of our true, pure essence of who we are, is realized through the process of us stepping more and more into our own power. And so the manipulation in itself, even though the manipulation beings identify and copy, say, the pure essence of what nature is, the pure essence of, say, what the feminine aspect of creation is, it's up to us become the masters of who we truly are, to step into our mastery, to step into our power, to see this manipulation as a tool for us to step into more and more of our power, to have greater discernment of what is aligned with pure love without conditions and what is a copy of love. Because there is a copy out there, and it's called the artificial matrix. Don't fall for any more scams. Don't give your power away to anyone or anything to activate you remotely with something that they promise that will connect you with a greater aspect of your own being. Do not give your power away to anyone or anything outside of your own cosmic levels of your own self. You do not need a mediator or a savior to connect you with the essence of who you truly are. Everything and all this manipulation is allowed for people to go through the craziness, to go through the struggle, to the point where we say, okay, what else is there? Because I am done messing around with all of this manipulation game. How else am I to connect with my I am presence, my true knowingness, and my divine self to a greater degree? What do I need to do to become more aware of this manipulation game to a greater degree, to see the artificial matrix for what it is? Those are the questions that everyone should be asking themselves. Instead of falling in line with thousands upon thousands of people giving their power away outside of themselves for these remote activations. Again, I'm not going to go into that more anymore, but the biggest part is align yourself with the love without conditions and don't allow anyone else to come between you and that aspect of your being. All right. This. Oh, that's right. Stop sitting where you are. This is a something that I touched on last month in the last update, is to stop sitting where you are. If you are seeing things and experiencing things in the same way that you were 6 months ago, for example, ask yourself, why am I in this stagnant place? If you closed your eyes and you thought about and felt a body of water, and that water is simply just sitting, it's not moving, it becomes stagnant. Where it's not moving and so on, it becomes where things are not moving. It's where things like mold and algae and so on just grows. So think about your consciousness, what you're experiencing. Are you experiencing things continually moving, continually evolving? You're continually expanding your consciousness. You're continually seeing things in new ways. Or is there an aspect of your being that you're holding on to so much structure that you are basically like a dammed up pond, like a beaver dam? And that body of water that is your conscious perception of this life and what you're experiencing is not moving. It's because of what you're holding on to. So release that dam, that beaver dam, from that lake of consciousness that you are, and allow the water to move. Allow new water to start flowing down through that lake of consciousness that you are, to move through, to see that you are not just in one spot, and allow it to move through all aspects of your being. Therefore, when you're looking at things and you're looking at life, are you continually worried about the same things that you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Are you fearful of the same things that you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Are you judgmental of the same people and the same things that you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Are you simply viewing your connection with God the aspect of God that you view as God and the source and so on? Are you viewing things in the same way as you were a year ago, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago? If you're not having greater knowingness of your connection with what God is, or you're not having greater knowingness of our collective essence of who we are as a collective on earth, and your connection with earth and so on, and these connections of knowingness is not evolving and growing, that's a clear indication that you need to let go. You got to let go of those constructs and that structure that is built, that beaver dam, that is restricting the light and the love of who you are to start flowing, and that knowingness of who you are beyond this physical body to flow through your being and to be in alignment with that energy of who you are on an eternal, infinite essence of who you are. So stop sitting where you are, my friends. Stop sitting where you are. Let go of these restrictions. Find new ways, change your patterns. Be open to experiencing something new. All right, then the next topic. What is it worth? What is it worth for you to know who you are beyond this physical body? What is it worth? Take the time to actually think about that. Because a lot of people in this reality are in this survival mode of continual reaction, in this stress and everything else. So what is it worth for you to be in complete alignment, in complete knowingness of who you are beyond this physical body, in complete connection with Source itself? What is it worth? From what I've been picking up and getting for the past months, and since I've been doing all of this stuff regarding, the services that I offer and so on, a lot of people don't see the reason to energetically cleanse their energetic systems. They don't even see the reason to, do this. They don't even see the importance of it and so on. So, but they're, at the same time might be willing to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on a temporary experience to do this or that, to go and spend a couple $100 on dinner, for example, or food, or go on a short trip, or buy that new car or whatever. Of course, certain things are needed, and it's nice to take a trip to relax. It's nice to have a car to actually go to work or to go buy food. I'm not talking about the necessities, the baseline necessities. But at the same time, there's a necessity for everyone to truly say, I want to connect to a greater degree of who I truly am beyond this physical body. To see and have the willingness of saying, I want to clear out these energetics that are restricting my consciousness from expansion of knowing this game of deception here on earth. So, it's what is it worth? What is it worth for you to know your divine essence of who you are? We're in this space and time of continual distraction. And what is it worth for you to live in a space of complete space of no stress? Would that actually be worth something to you? Would it be worth for you to take care of your body to the point where you're actually able to think clearly? Would it be worth for you to release the fear and the anger and the judgment so you're actually able to see beyond that fear and judgment? So what is it worth? Is it worth 30 minutes of your time to meditate, to actually align yourself with who you're aligning yourself with your true essence of who you are? So therefore you can release that fear and stress and that judgment. So a lot of people are like, I don't have 30 minutes. You do have 30 minutes if you actually see that it's a priority. We do have the availability. It's according on what is it worth to you? How much is all this worth to you? What is it? Is it an importance to you? All right. Moving into a lucid dream. From what I have been gathering, what I've been seeing, and so on, we are slowly, as this shift in consciousness, shift of the earth, and so on, continues into the new paradigm. We, as a physical being, and so on, are moving into what we describe as a lucid dream. A lucid dream is something that your physical body would be sleeping, and then we, within a dream, would have become aware of ourselves within that dream. Within that dream, then we would be able to manipulate that dream and become more aware of ourselves within that dream. That is what a lucid dream is. Things become more crystalline within a lucid dream. Becomes more real within a lucid dream. That is what we are physically moving into. Those same things. It's a matter of us becoming aware of ourselves within this dream. Stepping more into our power of who we are to a greater degree, to therefore we are more of the master of this dream that we call life. We are the master of ourself, not necessarily the mastering anyone or anything else, but we are the master of ourselves within this dream. Therefore, we become more aware of ourselves within this dream. Everything around us then becomes more real, as I've mentioned in previous topics of previous shift updates, become more real. Everything that is organic in nature becomes more and more crystalline in the essence for which we perceive it. That in itself is very hard to explain. It can only really be experienced. So in order to have this connection and being able to see more crystalline nature of existence in itself, we have to ourselves step into more of that knowingness of ourselves within this dream. So we are moving slowly into this lucid dream state of consciousness experience. Even though within a lucid dream, say if you're in a dream, within a dream, you have people within that dream that are not aware of themselves, where you might be aware and you're like trying to convince them, say, hey, you can do this, you can do that, give them options, give them love, you can assist them in healing themselves, you can assist them becoming more aware of themselves, and so on. And that is the same exact things that is happening to us right here, right now, what we call a physical life. It's the same thing. So the key is to become more aware of yourself, connect with yourself, move into the lucid dream. And then we start collectively dreaming together. We could collectively start moving and into that crystalline light and that crystalline aspect of nature itself. Then we start collectively changing and transforming this dream into a space of more collective alignment. All right. Unification is happening. Even though there's so much chaos right now in the world, perceived chaos anyway, the unification is happening. More and more people, as I mentioned in a previous topic, are starting to see this game for what it is, to see the manipulation for what it is. They're starting to let go of more and more separation. They're starting to let go of more and more judgment. There's creating the separation for what they see as other people or other things within this reality. Through that process of letting go of all these perceptions, and so that in itself is moving into more and more wholeness, more and more unification. Unification does not mean that everyone is in agreeing with the same thing. It does not mean that everyone has to do the same thing, agree with the same thing, do things in the same way. But it means is a certain state of awareness, a certain state of consciousness and vibration is aligning this unification to take place. So we're going through it, even though it looks crazy, we're going through an acceleration of unification right now. And it is happening. It is happening so fast that most people do not see it. Even over the last year, there's been tremendous, incredible unification taking place on an energetic scale. At the same time, there's craziness and chaos in the world, but the unification is taking place. It is taking place. It is, it's incredible. All right. Take the next step. As I mentioned in a previous topic, if you're sitting where you are consciously from 6 months ago, a year ago, if you are doing the same patterns, if you have the same procedures through meditation, if you have the same experiences with energy in itself, take the next step. Be willing to let go of the comfort of where you are in your patterns. Have the willingness to step out of the comfort, the patterns, and experiencing something more expansive. Take the next step of loving yourself to a greater degree. To look at the patterns of judgment that you're holding against yourself. To look at the beliefs that you are holding against yourself. You're not worthy. Oh, you can't be a creator God. Oh, I can't be one with the earth. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. All these identities that you have placed upon yourself. Take the next step. Let go of all this stuff. Step into what it is to be love without conditions to a greater degree. Step into what it is to be into a greater level of your own wholeness beyond this physical body. Step into it. Take one step. And take another step. Put one foot in front of the other and step into greater wholeness. Have the willingness to take the time to center yourselves within your being, to your, through meditation or whatever, however tool is beneficial to you to align yourselves with the true essence of who you truly are. Have the willingness to take another step, to see the priority of right now, the importance of you becoming aware of who you are on an authentic self, your own God creator being that you are. Take the next step. Have the willingness to do it and do it. Put one foot in front of the other. All right. Now we're moving into the challenge. As I mentioned at the beginning of this, and this has gone on for, this shift update is the longest one that I've done so far. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is the challenge of the month. And each month going forward, I'm going to have a different challenge. So the topic of this month's challenge is feeling is proof of connection. The challenge is to feel energy to a greater degree than you ever felt before. As I've mentioned in previous videos and so on, feeling, the actual experience of feeling, physically feeling, is a superpower. Where most people shut that down because of what they feel, it is actually a superpower. Have the willingness to feel things in this next month and going forward like you've never felt before. Tap into feeling. Feel the essence. When you say you love yourself, I love myself. Love. I am love without conditions. Feel the energy moving through your body. Feel the energy in every single way that you can on a daily basis. Go out into nature, into the woods, feel trees, feel, a lot of people would be like, oh, that's some kind of granola, hippie kind of stuff. But, it's real, through the aspect of feeling it, we actually experience it more. It becomes more of a knowingness than a belief. So feel more. Feel the earth. Go out, put your hands in dirt. Either you're working with plants or in a garden. You probably already know what I'm talking about. But not just a projection. Try to feel like if you are, and when I'm describing feeling, I'm not talking about an emotion. That is separate from what I am trying to describe to you. I'm not talking about feeling through an emotion. I'm talking about feeling the essence of energy in ways that you have not felt before. Pick up a crystal and feel it and tap into it and love it to the point where you actually start feeling the energy from that crystal in ways that you have not felt before. You are interacting with it in ways that you have not had before. The same with, say, in nature. If you're in nature and you're walking by trees, flowers, insects, birds, animals, try to expand your heart. Take your awareness out to where you can feel that animal. Feel those plants. Feel the land that you exist by or you're walking through. The whole point of this is through the process of feeling. Feeling is proof of connection. Anytime that we feel something, that is validation that we are connected to it. A lot of people's minds might not necessarily really connect with this right away. So I'm going to repeat this and try to view this in a different way. Through the process of us feeling something, no matter if it's viewed as a negative thing, positive thing, or anything, if we feel it, that is proof of our connection to it. If you are feeling the negativity from someone else in this reality, that is proof of your connection to that person. Don't block that connection. See, the negativity is simply, that's another aspect of your being experiencing negativity. But you don't have to feel, you are feeling that negativity is proof of your connection to that person. In the same way, if you feel the energy from anything that happens in this reality, most people are probably feeling, say, the negative aspects of all this craziness and reality because you're focusing on the fear, the judgment, the lack, the worry, and so on that aligns you with the vibrations that are tied into that vibration of all this craziness. But in the same way, there are layers upon layers of other energetics, other energies of pure love and abundance and connection and wholeness that is available right here, right now. In order for you to become more aware of all this is through feeling it. Feel pure love without conditions. Say it, Mahatma love, that you have never felt before. How do we do that? Is through the feeling. Tap into it within yourself. Do not rely on anyone or anything between you. Remember, the you are the you in universe. Between you and your universal self, between you and your cosmic self of who you are, the cosmic light and love, the source of who you are. Feel it. Feel it running through your energetic systems. Feel it running through the energy systems that are beyond your physical body. Feel yourself further and further from your physical body. Feel it out. Expand your awareness 360 degrees in all directions and go out a mile or two away from where your physical body is. Feel that aspect and that level of your energetic systems that are miles out, further and further out from your physical body. Yes, way up into the stratosphere of the earth, all the way down into the center of the earth, out into all directions. Feel it, not think about it, not a mental concept, not a mental belief. Feel it, my friends. And that feeling is proof of your connection to all that is. And it's your willingness to do that is what creates the expansion and the knowingness of those connections. Those connections become more concrete, more knowingness, and so on of who you are, who you truly are. Wow. All right. That was a lot. That was a lot of information. That was a lot to put into one video. It's the reason why I started breaking these into smaller segments and with the topics and breaking them out, and I publish these through Instagram, my Instagram account. It's Power Up with Joe Weaver on Instagram. The connection or the link for that is on my website. For those of you that want to connect and have these topics broken down into individual videos, all that is I publish on Instagram. Thing I want to mention is that a lot of these videos and this information that I share is sort of shadow banned. Some of these videos on YouTube and so on, they're necessarily aren't being shared freely. So if you know of anyone that would align with the information I share, either through this YouTube video or some of the Instagram videos, please share them with other people. That way, this information gets out to everyone that is open to receive it, because this information is not being shared broadly on the social media platforms. The easiest way to assist with this information is for you to share it individually with your friends and people you know, and so on, through your own networks. It's very important for this type of information to get out. Of every single thing that I shared in this shift update, it's very much relevant to every single thing that we are going through as a collective here in this time period, in this shift of the ages. Remember to visit my website if you like any assistance with energetic clearing. If you would like any personal coaching sessions and so on, all that information is available on my website, joe-weaver.com. Information again is in the link below the video. If you have any questions regarding anything that I shared in this shift update, please post those questions in the comments below, or you can email me if you wish. Also, if you have any ideas or questions or topics that you would like discussed in future updates, please post those in the comments below, or again, email me. It's an incredible time that we are going through. It's an incredible time of acceleration. It is very easy to be overwhelmed, to get caught up in this chaos. So stay centered within this storm, my friends. Stay aligned within yourself, not through seclusion and or separation, but through expansion, encompassing every single thing that you feel and love it without conditions. Through that love and expansion, you move into more and more awareness, more and more simplicity and knowingness of what we are going through as a collective. All right, my friends, we are nearing an hour and a half, and it's been another great time being here and sharing with you infinite light and love of Mahatma On, love without conditions flowing to you all. Till next time, my friends, cheers and love.